can do this, Lord. I don't think you quite understand how hard this is for me because I'm reliving this right now. And I'm really struggling. I'm sorry. I can do this. Okay. Can I do it one more time from the beginning? Okay. Let me clear my eyes up one more time. It was Wednesday, May 20th. I was 11 years old. I was waiting on the couch for the church bus to come by when my mom told me I couldn't go. Life during that time was very hard for my brother and I. Our home was very unstable, and there were many things going on that we didn't quite understand. My mom and dad were both on drugs and heavily using alcohol. Dad was always drinking. Things got so bad that sometimes my brother and I would have to go stay in a hotel overnight. It was soon after that my dad moved away, and we didn't see him anymore. We didn't have very much, and the money that my mom did make through prostitution she would use to buy drugs. Many times my brother and I would come home at night to find the doors locked, so we were made to sleep outside on the porch. That Wednesday night, the night my mom told me that I could not go to church, my brother and I already planned to run away. We had a small bag packed with some clothes in it. Usually on Wednesday nights, I was always ready outside for the church bus to come by. I would be waiting at the end of the sidewalk. I decided that I would call Brother Allen, the bus driver, and have one of his workers come up and knock on the door since I wasn't allowed to go outside. As I was waiting there, I heard the church bus pull up. I was very excited, didn't know how my mom would react. I thought maybe she would let me go if they came to the door. But as Brother Dill came up on the porch and knocked on the door, my mom jumped off her bed and came and opened up the door and told Brother Dill to leave, that I could not ride the church bus. My mom grabbed my arm and the bag on the couch and threw me out on the porch and slammed the door. I began to cry. I didn't know what was going on. About 5 minutes later, I knocked on the door. My brother came and opened it up. I came in to see that my mom was throwing away the little groceries that we did have in the fridge. Our kitchen was filthy. It was full of maggots. It smelled. The trash hadn't been taken out in weeks. My mom began to walk away, and I asked her what was going on. She told me how she didn't love me, how she didn't want me, how she didn't care about my brother and I, and she was done. She didn't want us anymore. I began to cry and ask her, what can I do? What's going on? I didn't understand. It was then that she told my brother and I to get our bag and go out to the van. We ended up going to the police station in town. We got out of the car, we went inside. My mom called the police and told them she didn't want us anymore and began to run out. Next thing I know, I saw police officers running out to get her. It was at that time the church bus actually drove by, and Brother Allen saw my mom out there with the police, and he began to wonder what's going on. We went with our great aunt that night and found out that the situation there was not much better than where we came from. The house there was full of drugs, violence, immorality. She had 4 children, 2 of which were involved heavily with the drug gang. Her 2 sons were the biggest drug dealers in the county. The house where I was living at with my aunt had over $2 million worth of drugs in the house. Within a week of being at my aunt's house, I remember sitting on the couch and seeing Brother Allen and Miss Tony pull up. They wasted no time to find us. They came up and introduced themselves to my aunt and asked them if it would be okay if they picked my brother and I up for church on Sunday. Looking back over the years, the hand of God is very evident in my life. I see that through the life of Brother Allen and Miss Tony. I know they spent many sleepless nights praying for me, praying that I would make the right choices to serve and obey God with my life. They invested time, money, energy, with no guarantee of return. The bus ministry is more than a bus. It's more than the seats and the tires, the promotions and the candy. It's the Brother Allens and Miss Tonys who take time, week in and week out, to reach boys and girls for Christ. you're looking at a young lady who's graduated from Bible college, who's happily married, and serving on staff and in the bus ministry at her church, all because of the investment of a bus driver and his wife.